All right, here we go. I'm moving along into processing. And today you're going to spend a lot of time looking at apps and thinking about how the computer is processing. So grab your journal, open up to a fresh page, and put this heading at the top. Unit 1, Lesson 6. Okay? And in fact, if you want, you can add the word processing here because we will define it. Do, 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 do. Right there. Okay. Now, some of you might have something like like a NutriBullet or some kind of blender type thing. I remember when we got one of these like magic bullet things, my kids thought it was amazing. Here's like a traditional food processor. Okay. And honestly, that's really a good image for what we're going to talk about. Okay. Because we're thinking about, all right, what goes in there? Something happens inside the computer and then something else comes out as output. Processing is basically what is happening in between that. So, before we get to that formal definition, here's what I want you to think about. Okay, we have a whole bunch of different apps that you are going to look at today. And this first one is called the birthday app. Okay, choosing your birthday. So, let's take a peek here. I've got to get this up on code.org. So let me get out of you, the pet chooser, and that tarantula. Oh, let's go to processing on lesson 6. Here we go. All right, this first one. Don't use your Chromebooks yet because you're going to have a lot of them. You can see how many levels there are on this one. All right, so it says try out this app that tells you whether or not it's your birthday. Now, before you roll your eyes and you're thinking, like, duh, I'm going to know if it's my birthday. I get that. But it's a good example for something that's easy, but to think about how the app is going to respond with output. All right. So think about what input does it use? What output does it show? And how does it decide what to display for the output? So I'm going to hit run. All right, choose your birthday. So it has this menu here for the month. So one of my inputs is the month. Okay, I'll just use my birthday, September. And then the day of the month, that's the other input. So your inputs are the month and the day. I'm going to go up here to 16th. Okay, then I have to click, find out if it's your birthday. No, but it doesn't just say no. It also says, hey, it was already your birthday this year. Okay. Okay, let's do this again. I'm going to pick my daughter Emily's birthday, which is October 20th. So input the month, input the date, find out if it's her birthday today. No, it isn't your birthday yet. It's coming up. The date I'm recording this is October 4th. So last try. Let's see what happens. Run. I'll pick today's date, October 4th. Find out if it's your birthday. What do you think it's going to say? Ta-da! It's your birthday. There's a beautiful cake. All right. Now, of course, this is kind of a silly type of app to play with and stuff, but it's really after getting you thinking about how does the computer know what to do and what to show you for output. It has to take the information that's input and determine what to show you for the output. So grab your journal and grab a pencil. And here we go. Our definition for processing is going to look like this, okay? So processing means, oops, I guess I had blue on now. This is the thinking work. And I'm going to put the word thinking in quotation marks, okay? The thinking work a computer does. Now, does a computer have a brain? Not really. Not like we do. Okay, but it has to be programmed to take this information and do something. So we're going to say it's thinking work a computer does to turn input, sorry, I'm having trouble spelling and writing today. Input to output. So leave that up there and let's track through this. So if we picked a date on this birthday thing that already happened, like my birthday, then it somehow knew to say, oh, your birthday already happened this year. When I picked my daughter's birthday that hasn't happened, it said, oh, your birthday hasn't happened yet. And if you pick the exact day that it is today, then you get the birthday cake and it says, it's your birthday. So what's going on the inside? Well, as it's thinking, it actually is performing one of, we're gonna call it like 4 functions. So what I want you to do is below here now, we've got to talk about what ways can you process, or what types of processing are there for a computer to do. So right on here, types of processing, and here comes the first one. This is the one you see probably most often. Okay, so I'll put a 1 here. If/then. This is called a type of statement that's a condition, or it's a conditional. If this, then do this. That's what they mean. So if you can word it in that way, if this, then do that. You don't have to write this part down, but if you go back to thinking when we were using the pet chooser, and if we said yes to being allergic, you don't have to write this, but I just want to illustrate it. Okay. So if we said yes to being allergic to pet fur, then the next question we got was not the outside one. Then we got, how cute do you want your pet to be? Okay. So it was programmed to say, if you answered this, then show this. If we said we weren't allergic, then it actually says to us, do you like to go outside? All right. So that's a good example of an if-then type of condition and how that program is operating or processing. Okay, here comes the second one. Computers can be programmed to match. So if you, when you're starting to program and you say, okay, look for this, for example, on the birthday one, look for today's date, October, okay? Today, when I'm recording this, is the 4th. If you get October 4th, then show the birthday cake. That's kind of a combo of the two, if then, but it's matching dates, okay? It can also match like number data or words, okay? You just have to say, look for this, and the computer can go and find it. So that's what matching means. The third one, write down count. Okay. And when I say count, this is what I mean. It can total things up, like say, oh, you have 15 things here. It's doing some math. It can do computations. Okay. You can program a computer to do that. And so that's a type of processing. All right. You might say, how many of this? Okay. That's a counting process. And the last one, and this was also used in the birthday one. Okay. In the birthday one, it can compare. I'll put a 4 here. It can compare, and it can also sort, like put things in order, as long as it can like assign numbers. Okay. So the months are assigned numbers. So that's how it can kind of make a determination. Oh, your birthday already happened, or your birthday hasn't happened yet. It's using kind of some sorting and comparing, big or smaller. Alphabetical order. A computer can sort things in alphabetical order. Those kinds of things. Okay. Now, knowing that you have these 4, what you're going to be asked to do today, and I'll ask you to pause the video while worksheets get distributed to everybody for today. Alrighty, here. Let me get this up. Actually, it's in Schoology, but you've got it on paper. If you're doing this online because you're not here, then this is what you have. All right, so it says apps with processing. Here's the definition. the thinking work computers do to take input, turn it into output. Now, the first thing I'm going to have you do is cross out the word one. So for each app, don't just choose one type of processing. I want you to circle all the ones you think are happening when this app is functioning. Okay? So they kind of did the first one for you. This is supposed to say if then inside this bubble here. So you could write that in there. Okay? So the birthday one, if the birthday is today, then show the happy birthday message. Okay? That's how it's doing it. It's also utilizing finding a match, because if today matches the birthday that's entered, that's what happens. So it's a condition and it's an if then. Now let's see. Is this app counting? Is it totaling anything? I'm going to say no. Okay. It's not like doing some math to count up and give you like an answer of 15. Not like that. But it is doing this comparing. So circle comparing, because it's also determining, did your birthday already happen? It's looking at today's date versus the date you entered, or is it upcoming your birthday? So I'm just going to squeeze that in there as well. Now, here's what's going to be kind of fun for you now is there's a whole bunch of apps here listed, as well as on the back side of that worksheet, there's even 3 more. Okay? So as you are going to spend the whole rest of the time today investigating each of these apps, let me get this up. Okay? You will then think about, all right, how is it working? So here's National Park Quiz. That one's kind of cool. You'll learn a little bit about that. Okay? How many countries? And you're going to ask yourself, play it a few times. Is it using an if this, then this to show you some output? Is it matching? Is it counting? Is it comparing or sorting information? Okay? So analyze each one of these and work your way through. There's famous birthday one. This stamping notebook is kind of more just like a decoration type of app. You'll enjoy fastest finger because that's kind of a competition amongst yourself on which finger is the fastest. This is a guess the number. I love that one. And then the last one is kind of cool too. It says, where should you live? So your job today, get this worksheet, play with each one of these apps, and try to decipher what type of processing is it using to run. Good luck and have some fun playing with apps.